Alright, so moving on with our Camaro project, we're gonna start taping up this morning for priming. Believe it or not, I see a lot of messy stuff out there with people trying to prime their vehicle. It don't look good. I have a whole entire video on how to properly mask a vehicle, including back taping, face taping, when to use it, where to use it, why to use it. So make sure you check that out. I'll try to remember to link that thing in the description of this video. If not, you can always just go to your YouTube home screen. If you don't know how to search the channel, you can just search Paint and Paper Hustle back tape, or Paint and Paper Hustle masking car, and it should pull it up. You should be able to find it. Check that video out, because that is like a 20 or 30 minute video on nothing but explaining how to mask a vehicle properly. So it's very good. Whereas this one, we're gonna kind of throw you on a time lapse. I'm gonna show you how I tape it, and I'm gonna show you what I use, and I'm gonna show you spraying it, but we're not gonna remake a masking video. Let's go. All right, so we're about to drop plastic. You're gonna see, we're gonna throw a time lapse on, we're gonna pull plastic over it. And now what we're gonna do, if you watch the other videos, like I said, I teach you all this. Basically, we're gonna push plastic down to this tape. This tape is backwards, so it is taped on the back side, okay, of the flange, meaning it's sticky sides up. So when you lay plastic across it, if you do it right, it can be tricky, then all you gotta do is trim it out and you're good to go. It's called back tape. And there'll be face taping on this right here. This piece, the whole trunk lid, the whole trunk will be back taped, so it will be sealed up, airtight. The windows will be, let's see here, Eddie did some face taping on his, a little different, but it'll be back to mixture of back taping across the top, face taping the windshield, back taping the front of the hood, and then the front grille, we threw paper in because we're really only focused on primer from about here up. This car is already primed, so we're only focused on primer for blocking purposes and for straightening it out. So like the rockers, I'm not really blasting the rockers down underneath it because we're not gonna be hand blocking down there. But now when it's time to do color, we're gonna do this thing way different. We'll literally spend 4 times the amount of time on taping it, because we'll get under the car and we will do back taping in there. We'll back tape the wheel wells. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Whereas right now, I'm just trying to get primer on the flat surfaces. Make sure you get your keyholes. We drop paper down in there so they don't get on the glass. Next time we'll probably back tape for the actual painting process. But make sure you get everything sealed up. You don't want to get overspray on nothing. Get all your headlights, get all your bolt holes like that, everything. So let's drop some plastic. All right, so we got that all masked up. I do not even have the primer for this, the DTM primer. I got one spot right there. I gotta get real fast. Or get that for me, Ed, real fast right there in my little corner that I said that I did better than yours. But look at my window. It's so nice and so nice and pretty. Let's go check out your window. Let's see how yours looks. Yours actually looks pretty good. I mean, you had to cheat and do a little face taping.
Yeah, but
it's a little
I didn't,
floppy in the corner.
My window wasn't your window either.
Ed cheated and shoved some plastic in there. But it works. It works. That works good. No paint will get in there. I don't have to worry about anything. Ed's got it all taped up.
Is there a mirror hole in that door?
There's not a mirror hole in this door. It's on the older cars, they only had the drivers. Yep, well, because you can turn and look out of the passenger over your shoulder, your blind spot. It's hard to look out. You can't see your blind spot really on the driver's side. But, so I'm going to run and get some DTM primers, and he's going to put the wheel covers on it and finish the booth up, get the trash picked up. He's going to wipe it down, wax and grease remover. So we're going to wipe the whole car. You can get it pretty much from anywhere, your parts store or whatever, even though this thing is clean. So we're not wiping this thing down to clean it because we cleaned it yesterday with soap and water. We're just wiping down to get the dust off of it, basically. Ed, try to take some Scotch Brite over this too, like I said, real fast, and see if it'll knock some of that surfaced rust color out of it before you wipe it down. I mean, there's not a ton of it. It's just right on the edges, really. Yeah, like it's literally only on that fender, nothing on the door, nothing on the roof, just on the edge of that. Right there. Yeah, try to hit them little spots with some Scotch Brite. And we'll get this thing primed. Let's go buy some primer. All right, so here is the product that I'm using. You just need to go to your local supplier and find out what kind of DTM primer surfacer you can get. Everywhere is gonna carry different brands and such. Just talk to your local supplier. There's the mixing ratio on mine. There's the hardener. You can probably find this stuff online somewhere if you want to order the exact stuff. I'm gonna get this mixed up and get in the gun, and we're gonna put some primer on this car. All right, we got all the primer on it. Got a couple spots I put a little bit heavy right there just because there was a little rock chip. So if you have a little rock chip or something like that, dude, when you're in the booth with the primer, go ahead and just hit it with a little extra primer. I don't care what anybody else says. Don't listen to people that tell you that mess. You're not gonna hurt anything. You're literally gonna sand it all off besides what's down inside of that little tiny rock chip. So there's no reason to sit there and stop and do dolphin glaze and all that crap. Dude, just put a little extra freaking primer in it. Send it on down the road. So go ahead and put your guide coat on it while the car is masked up. This is way easier than trying to make sure that you don't get guide coat all over stuff and having to mask the car off. The guide coat we're using, I didn't show it in another video. This was just what was on sale. Literally, this was on the clearance rack at my local paint supplier. That's how little of an important product brand is. So many people get wrapped up in product brands. It doesn't matter. A lot of it does the exact same thing. And then as you work with the stuff, you'll get preference of what you like. Me, I have no preference. If I can get something off the clearance rack at my local supplier, I take it. So let me get guide coat laid out all over this car. It is, let's see here, what's the day? Thursday. We're gonna let this thing bake outside all day Thursday. We'll put it inside Thursday night, and then we'll let it bake, shrink back, whatever you want to call it, all day, or Friday while we're here. We close at 11, and then we'll let it sit inside all weekend, and then Monday we will sand it. So that will give it, let's see here, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 days to shrink back. Shrinking back is just where the primer tightens up, and you'll get a better result if you don't rush right into this the next day. If you can wait 24 hours or so before you start sanding on it.